Each morning, as the first rays of light break through the night, you are given a sacred moment, a doorway into infinite possibilities. This is the hour where heaven touches earth, where the seeds of triumph are sown. If you choose, this moment can set the course of your day and life toward unwavering victory. Prayer is the key to this door. Not empty words or desperate pleas, but prayer spoken with conviction. Speak boldly as one who knows that what they desire is already theirs. Thank you, Lord, for the victory you have secured for me today. Thank you for the strength to overcome every obstacle. I walk in abundance, peace, and power, for these are your promises to me. God's promises are eternal, unchanging, and alive. I will never leave you nor forsake you. You are more than a conqueror. These words are not mere encouragement, they are spiritual laws. When you claim them as your own, you align yourself with the will of the divine. But claiming promises is not enough. You must see them fulfilled in your imagination. Before the battle begins, the victory must be won in the mind. Picture yourself walking boldly into every challenge. See the obstacles parting before you. Feel the joy of triumph as though it has already happened. Gratitude is the power that multiplies your blessings. Start your morning not with complaints or doubts, but with thanksgiving. Even before the day unfolds, thank God for what you are about to receive. Thank you for the doors you are opening, for the peace that fills my heart, for the abundance that flows to me. Gratitude transforms prayers from wishes into reality. Walk into your day with faith unshaken. Fear is a thief. It steals the joy of the moment and blocks the flow of blessings. But faith is the key that unlocks every promise. When doubts whisper, silence them with affirmations of truth. God is for me, so nothing can stand against me. This morning as you rise, know that you hold the power to unlock victory. Speak life, visualize your triumph, claim God's promises, and walk boldly into the day. You are not hoping for victory, you are living it. Each morning is a gift, a sacred opportunity to align with the divine promises that are ever present and waiting to unfold in your life. It is not just the start of a new day, but a portal through which you can step into a reality filled with blessings, triumphs, and untapped potential. How you choose to begin your morning shapes not only the hours that follow, but also the trajectory of your life. The morning is not a passive transition from night to day, it is a divine threshold, an opening where the infinite meets the finite and where your faith and intentions have the power to create your reality. The stillness of the morning is unlike any other time. Before the world awakens and distractions take hold, there is a purity in the atmosphere, a calmness that invites connection with the divine. This sacred moment is an offering, a reminder that you can start anew. Regardless of the challenges of yesterday, each morning brings a fresh canvas. It whispers of renewal, beckoning you to leave behind the mistakes, doubts, and fears of the past and step forward with hope, confidence, and faith. In this quiet hour, you have the unique ability to direct your thoughts and align your spirit with God's promises. These promises are not hidden or reserved for a select few. They are abundant and available to all who dare to claim them. The promises of peace, provision, healing, and victory are written in the divine law, waiting for you to embrace them. But to do so, you must make the morning your sacred time to connect with these truths. This connection is not just about asking for blessings, it is about affirming and believing that they are already yours. Consider the morning as the planting ground for your day. Just as a farmer sows seeds in fertile soil, your thoughts, prayers, and declarations in the morning are the seeds that will bear fruit throughout the day. When you speak words of faith and gratitude, you set into motion the spiritual forces that align circumstances in your favor. Declare with boldness, today is a day of victory. God's hand guides my steps, and everything I need flows to me with ease. Such affirmations are not mere words, they are creative acts, shaping the unseen into the tangible. But to truly unlock the power of the morning, you must recognize its sacredness and approach it with intention. Many rush into the day, distracted by tasks and overwhelmed by the demands of life. In doing so, they miss the divine invitation that morning offers, a chance to pause, reflect, and prepare spiritually for the hours ahead. By dedicating even a few moments to prayer, meditation, or simply sitting in stillness, You create a foundation for the day that cannot be shaken. In this time, allow yourself to visualize the day ahead, not with fear or anxiety, but with the certainty of victory. See yourself navigating challenges with grace and achieving goals effortlessly. Picture the blessings that await you and feel the gratitude for them as though they have already come to pass. This act of visualization is a spiritual practice that aligns your mind and spirit with the reality you wish to manifest. Gratitude is an essential part of this sacred morning ritual. When you wake with a heart full of thanksgiving, you unlock a deeper awareness of the blessings already present in your life. Gratitude magnifies these blessings and draws more to you. Begin each day by thanking God for the gift of life, for the opportunities that lie ahead, and for the unseen miracles that are already working in your favor. The morning is not simply the beginning of a day, it is the beginning of creation. Each thought, each word, and each intention you set in the morning carries the power to shape your reality. Approach it with reverence, for it is in these first moments that you decide the direction of your life. Recognize the morning for what it truly is, a divine gateway to victory, a sacred opening through which blessings and triumph flow into your life. Let each morning remind you of the infinite possibilities that lie within you and the unchanging promises of God that are always ready to be fulfilled. Words hold a profound power, far beyond what is often realized. They are not merely sounds or expressions, they are creative forces shaping the world around you and within you. What you speak becomes a reflection of your inner beliefs, and those words go out into the world, setting into motion events, circumstances, and outcomes. Spoken prayers and affirmations are more than just words, they are seeds of victory, carrying within them the potential to bring forth life, abundance, and strength. When you pray or declare something with conviction, you are engaging in an act of creation. Every word you speak aligns with either faith or doubt, abundance or lack, strength or weakness. To speak life is to choose words that affirm your belief in possibilities, miracles, and divine intervention. When you say, "I am strong," you are not simply stating a fact, you are declaring a spiritual truth that transcends any physical or emotional limitations you might feel. Similarly, when you affirm, "Abundance flows to me effortlessly," you are calling forth the unseen into the seen, creating a pathway for blessings to manifest in your life. The Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue. This is not a metaphor, but a spiritual law. Your words have the ability to build up or tear down, to heal or to harm, to bring clarity or confusion. What you say about yourself, your circumstances, and your future carries immense weight. If you constantly speak words of defeat, "I'll never succeed, things always go wrong for me, I'm not good enough," you are planting seeds of failure and lack. These seeds take root in your mind and spirit, growing into self-fulfilling prophecies. But when you choose to speak life, abundance, and strength, you change the narrative. You are no longer a victim of circumstances, you become a co-creator with the divine. Imagine starting each day by declaring, "I am blessed, I am favored, and I am equipped to handle everything that comes my way." Such affirmations shift your focus from fear and doubt to faith and confidence. They do not merely make you feel better in the moment, they begin to reshape your reality. Spoken prayers, too, are acts of faith. When you pray, you are not begging or pleading, you are standing in the knowledge that God's promises are already fulfilled. A prayer of faith says, "Thank you, Lord, for the abundance you have provided. Thank you for the strength you have given me. I walk in victory because I trust in your word." Such prayers carry a certainty that moves mountains. They are not requests but declarations of what is already true in the spiritual realm, waiting to manifest in the physical. It is essential to speak these words aloud. Thoughts are powerful, but spoken words amplify that power. When you declare something with your voice, you engage your mind, body, and spirit in alignment. The vibrations of your words echo into the universe, aligning the forces of creation with your intentions. This is why it is so important to guard your tongue. Every word spoken carelessly or in frustration can undo the seeds of victory you have planted. Speaking abundance means affirming that there is always more than enough for you, that lack has no place in your life. It means declaring that opportunities are endless, resources are infinite, and you are deserving of every good thing. When you say I am abundant, you are not ignoring your current challenges, you are choosing to see beyond them, to the truth that abundance is your birthright. To speak strength is to affirm that no matter what comes your way, you are resilient and capable. It is to reject the lies of weakness and inadequacy and to claim the truth of divine empowerment. Say aloud, I am strong, I am fearless, and I am guided by wisdom. These words build a fortress within you, a foundation that cannot be shaken. Words are seeds, and every seed has the potential to grow into something magnificent. But the harvest depends on the seeds you choose to plant. Will you plant seeds of doubt and fear, or will you plant seeds of life, abundance, and strength? The choice is yours, and the power is in your tongue. Speak victory into existence, for your words are the beginning of your triumph. God's promises are eternal, unchanging, and unfailing. They are not just words written in Scripture, they are alive, active, and waiting to be claimed by those who believe. These promises form the foundation of faith, offering assurance in times of uncertainty and strength in moments of doubt. They are the pillars upon which we build our lives, guiding us toward manifestation and victory. To understand the power of God's promises is to recognize their permanence and their ability to transform every aspect of your life. Throughout Scripture, God's promises are not conditional on human perfection, but are rooted in His unchanging nature. He declares, my word will not return to me void, but it will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. This means every promise God has made is already active, charged with divine power, and fully capable of coming to pass. What remains is for you to claim them with unwavering faith. These promises are not hidden or distant, they are written clearly, waiting to be spoken, believed, and acted upon. Consider the promise of provision. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. This is not a mere poetic expression, it is a declaration of divine abundance and care. To claim this promise is to trust that your needs will always be met, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. It is to walk through life with the assurance that lack has no place in your story, for God's provision is constant and sufficient. When you align yourself with this promise, fear of scarcity fades, and you step into a mindset of abundance, opening the door for manifestation. The promise of strength is another profound truth. I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me. This is not an empty encouragement, but a divine assurance that you are equipped to face any challenge. To claim this promise is to reject the lie of inadequacy and embrace the truth of divine empowerment. It means walking boldly, knowing that no obstacle is too great and no burden too heavy, because the strength of God is within you. God's promises also extend to peace. My peace I give to you, not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid in a world filled with chaos and uncertainty. This promise is a sanctuary. It offers a peace that transcends understanding, a calm that anchors you even in the fiercest storms. To claim this promise is to let go of worry and rest in the assurance that God's presence surrounds and sustains you. What makes these promises so powerful is that they are unchanging. They are not subject to the fluctuations of life or the limitations of human effort. God's word is eternal, and His promises are as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. They do not fade with time or lose their potency. They remain steadfast, waiting for you to step into their truth. Faith is the key that unlocks these promises. It is not enough to know them intellectually, you must believe in them wholeheartedly. Faith transforms God's promises from abstract concepts into lived realities. It bridges the gap between what is and what can be, aligning your spirit with the divine. When you believe in God's promises, you begin to see their manifestation in your life, often in ways that exceed your expectations. To claim God's promises, you must also speak them aloud. Declare them with confidence, for your words are powerful. When you say, God is my provider, and I lack nothing, you affirm a spiritual truth that overrides any temporary challenges. When you declare, I am more than a conqueror through Him who loves me, you align yourself with victory, rejecting defeat. Speaking God's promises is not a mere ritual, it is an act of creation, setting into motion the forces of heaven to bring them to pass. These promises are not just for a select few, they are for all who believe. They are an invitation to step into a life of abundance, strength, peace, and purpose. But the responsibility lies with you to accept the invitation. Open your heart to the unchanging nature of God's Word and trust that His promises are as real as the air you breathe. God's promises are the foundation of faith and manifestation. They remind you that you are never alone, that divine provision, strength, and peace are always available, and that every good thing is within your reach. Trust in these promises, claim them boldly, and watch as they transform your life in ways that only God can orchestrate. Victory begins in the mind long before it manifests in the physical world. It is a spiritual reality that takes root within you, shaping your thoughts, feelings, and actions. To visualize victory is to see the outcome as already accomplished, to believe with certainty that what you desire is not only possible but inevitable. This act of envisioning is not daydreaming or wishful thinking, it is the deliberate alignment of your inner world with the reality you seek to create. When you visualize the victory, you engage with the truth that everything begins in the unseen. Before a seed sprouts, it grows roots beneath the surface. Before a building stands tall, it is first an idea in the mind of the architect. Similarly, before your goals and dreams materialize, they must exist in your imagination, vivid and complete. The imagination is a divine gift, a tool given to you to create and manifest. What you consistently hold in your mind's eye becomes the blueprint for your reality. Start by creating a clear and detailed picture of what victory looks like for you. See yourself already in possession of what you desire. If you are seeking success in your career, imagine yourself excelling in your role, receiving accolades, and experiencing fulfillment. If you are striving for healing, picture yourself strong, vibrant, and full of energy. Whatever your goal, immerse yourself fully in the vision, allowing it to come alive in your mind with clarity and detail. Engage all your senses, see it, hear it, feel it. This mental rehearsal plants the seed of belief in your subconscious mind, which in turn influences your actions and decisions. Faith plays a crucial role in this process. To visualize victory is to act in faith, trusting that what you see in your mind is more real than the current circumstances that seem to contradict it. Faith does not rely on external evidence, it relies on inner conviction. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. When you choose to see victory, despite what your eyes tell you, you are stepping into the realm of faith, where all things are possible. Visualization is not passive, it is an active engagement with your destiny. When you hold a vision of victory, it begins to shape your emotions, which then influence your actions. You feel confident, empowered, and inspired because in your mind the outcome is already assured. This inner transformation leads to outward changes. You begin to act in alignment with your vision, taking steps that bring it closer to reality. Opportunities that once seemed invisible become apparent, and obstacles that once felt insurmountable lose their power. The power of visualization lies in its ability to create coherence between your thoughts, emotions, and actions. When your mind sees victory, your heart believes it, and your behavior reflects it. This alignment taps into the spiritual principle that as you think in your heart, so are you. What you consistently dwell on in your mind becomes the lens through which you experience life. If you see failure, fear, or lack, you will unconsciously act in ways that confirm those outcomes. But if you see victory, abundance, and success, you will naturally gravitate toward those results. Visualizing the victory also strengthens your resilience. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable. But when you have a clear vision of the outcome, you are less likely to be deterred. Instead of focusing on temporary difficulties, you keep your eyes on the prize, drawing strength and motivation from the image of your success. This unwavering focus keeps you grounded and determined, no matter what obstacles arise. Remember, victory begins as a spiritual reality. In the unseen realm, everything you desire already exists. Your role is to bring it forth into the physical world through belief, visualization, and action. When you see yourself as victorious, You align with the divine truth that you are equipped, empowered, and destined for greatness. Do not wait for circumstances to change before you see yourself victorious. Begin now in this moment to visualize the outcome you desire. Hold it firmly in your mind and let it guide your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Trust that what you see within will manifest without, for this is the creative power of visualization. Victory starts in the unseen, but with faith and persistence, it becomes your reality. Gratitude is a powerful force, a spiritual key that opens the floodgates of blessings. It magnifies what you have and draws more of what you desire into your life. To live in gratitude is to acknowledge the goodness of God in all things, both seen and unseen. It is an act of faith that says, I trust in your promises and I see the evidence of your hand, even before it fully manifests. When you begin each day with gratitude, you set the tone for a day filled with divine favor and abundance. Gratitude shifts your perspective. Instead of focusing on what is lacking, it directs your attention to what is present and what is possible. When you wake up and thank God for the victories already given, you remind yourself of His faithfulness. You acknowledge that every good thing in your life is a gift from above, not the result of mere chance. This recognition fills your heart with joy and your spirit with peace. It changes your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance, and this mindset is crucial for unlocking the blessings yet to come. When you express gratitude for victories on their way, you activate a spiritual principle that aligns your heart with the outcome you desire. Gratitude in this sense is a declaration of faith. It is an affirmation that what you seek is already yours in the unseen realm and that it is only a matter of time before it manifests. This act of thanking God in advance strengthens your belief and removes doubt. For you cannot be truly grateful for something you do not believe is coming. The morning is the perfect time to practice gratitude because it is the start of a new day, a blank canvas upon which you can paint your reality. As the sun rises, let your heart rise in thanksgiving. Thank God for the breath in your lungs, the strength in your body, and the opportunities that await you. Thank Him for the challenges that shape you, the victories that uplift you, and the blessings that surround you, even if they are small or seem insignificant. Gratitude for the present prepares you to receive even greater blessings in the future. Gratitude also magnifies blessings by expanding your awareness of them. When you take the time to reflect on what you are thankful for, you begin to notice blessings you may have overlooked. A kind word from a stranger, a moment of peace in a busy day, or the beauty of nature all become reminders of God's goodness. This heightened awareness creates a ripple effect, allowing you to see His hand in every aspect of your life. As you recognize and appreciate these blessings, you create space for more to flow into your experience. Gratitude is a catalyst for transformation. It changes not only your perspective but also your energy. A heart filled with gratitude emits a vibration of positivity and joy that attracts more of the same. This is not merely a metaphor, but a reflection of a profound spiritual law like attracts like. When you dwell in gratitude, you align yourself with the frequency of abundance, and blessings naturally gravitate toward you. Gratitude also strengthens your relationship with God. It deepens your connection to the source of all blessings, fostering a sense of intimacy and trust. When you thank God for His provision, you acknowledge His sovereignty and love. This act of humility and recognition opens the door for greater communion with Him, allowing His presence to fill your life more fully. It is important to remember that gratitude is not reserved for moments of triumph alone. Even in seasons of difficulty, there is always something to be thankful for. Gratitude in challenging times is especially powerful because it demonstrates unwavering faith. It says, I trust that this too is working for my good, and I am thankful for the lessons and growth it brings. This attitude of gratitude in adversity strengthens your spirit and accelerates your journey toward victory. Make gratitude a daily practice, a non-negotiable part of your morning routine. As you rise each day, take a moment to thank God for the blessings already given and those on their way. Speak your gratitude aloud, write it in a journal, or simply hold it in your heart. Let it become the foundation of your day, shaping your thoughts, words, and actions. Gratitude is more than a feeling, it is a choice. It is a decision to focus on the good, to trust in God's promises, and to rejoice in His faithfulness. When you embrace gratitude as a way of life, you unlock the fullness of His blessings, turning ordinary moments into extraordinary encounters with His grace. Start each day with gratitude, and watch as it transforms your life, magnifying your blessings and paving the way for victories yet to come. Faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the spiritual and the physical. It is the unwavering belief that what you hope for is already assured even before it appears. But faith, to be truly powerful, must be free of fear. Fear is the antithesis of faith, a force that blocks the flow of miracles and disrupts the alignment with divine favor. To live in faith without fear is to unlock the fullness of life, opening yourself to the blessings and miracles that are your birthright. Fear is a natural response to uncertainty, but it is not a spiritual truth. It stems from the belief that you are alone, unsupported, or vulnerable to harm. Yet the truth is that you are never alone. You are always surrounded by divine love and protected by a power far greater than any obstacle you face. To overcome fear, you must first recognize it for what it is, an illusion that seeks to distract you from the promises of God. When you choose to replace fear with faith, you align yourself with a higher reality where miracles are not just possible, they are inevitable. Faith requires a conscious decision to trust in divine favor, regardless of circumstances. Each morning as you rise, you have the opportunity to set the tone for your day by affirming your faith. Declare that the day is already aligned with divine favor. Believe that every encounter, every challenge, and every opportunity is working for your good. When you approach your day with this mindset, you become a magnet for blessings. You step into the flow of grace, where doors open effortlessly, and solutions appear even before problems arise. Fear, on the other hand, creates resistance. It clouds your judgment, diminishes your confidence, and limits your potential. When you allow fear to dominate your thoughts, you inadvertently block the miracles that are meant for you. Fear whispers lies of doubt and insecurity, convincing you that the road ahead is filled with insurmountable challenges. But these whispers hold no real power unless you give them your attention. By choosing faith, you silence the voice of fear and open your heart to the limitless possibilities that come from trusting in divine favor. Faith without fear is not about ignoring challenges or pretending that difficulties do not exist. It is about facing them with the assurance that you are equipped to overcome them. Faith transforms obstacles into stepping stones, teaching you to see opportunities for growth and expansion where others see only setbacks. It gives you the courage to take bold steps even when the path ahead is unclear, because you trust that God is guiding your every move. Living in faith also means letting go of the need to control every outcome. Fear often arises from the desire to predict and manage the future, but true faith rests in the knowledge that the future is already held in divine hands. Surrendering control does not mean giving up, it means releasing the burden of worry and trusting that what is meant for you will come to you in the right way and at the right time. This surrender brings peace, freeing you from the anxiety that fear creates. Faith also has the power to transform your energy. When you hold firm in the belief that your day is aligned with divine favor, you carry a sense of confidence and calm that influences everything you do. Your words become more positive, your actions more purposeful, and your presence more uplifting. This energy is contagious, creating a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. People are drawn to the light of faith, and situations begin to shift in your favor as you exude the certainty that miracles are already at work. In moments when fear tries to creep in, remind yourself of the promises of God. These promises are unchanging, a firm foundation that no storm can shake. Speak them aloud, affirming that you are loved, protected, and provided for. Surround yourself with reminders of these truths, whether through scripture, affirmations, or moments of quiet reflection. Let your faith be louder than your fears, and let your trust in divine favor guide you through every challenge. Faith without fear is a daily practice, a commitment to choosing trust over doubt, hope over despair, and love over fear. It is the decision to see the day not as a series of uncertainties, but as a canvas already painted with divine blessings. When you hold this perspective, you unlock the miracles that are waiting to unfold. Step forward with faith, unburdened by fear, and watch as your life aligns with the fullness of God's promises. In every moment, we hold the power to align ourselves with God's promises through faith, gratitude, and unwavering trust. Each morning is a sacred gateway to victory, a fresh opportunity to declare your alignment with divine favor. By speaking life through your words, visualizing your victories, holding on to unshakable faith, and expressing heartfelt gratitude, you step into the flow of miracles. Fear has no place in a heart anchored in faith, and each day becomes a reflection of the spiritual reality you have embraced. As you journey forward, remember that God's promises are unchanging, His love is steadfast, and His blessings are infinite. Your prayers are powerful, your thoughts are creative, and your faith is the key to unlocking a life filled with abundance and joy. The victory is already yours. All that remains is for you to claim it with confidence and trust. Thank you for dedicating this time to reflect on the truths that transform. May each morning bring you closer to the fullness of God's promises, and may your life shine as a testament to His unending grace. Ladies and gentlemen, you stand at the edge of infinite potential. But to grasp what is already yours, you must first let go of what holds you back. The world teaches you to chase, to seek, to beg for what you desire. But the truth is far simpler. You are the creator of your reality. Do not stalk the object of your desire, whether it is a person, a goal, or a dream. To stalk is to confess that you do not believe it is already yours. It is to place yourself in the shadow of lack, where desperation grows and fear takes root. What you chase, you push away, because the energy of need repels what you truly want. Do not seek outside yourself for validation or fulfillment. The treasure is not hidden in the world around you, it lies within. Everything you desire, love, wealth, happiness, is already present in the realm of your imagination. The outer world is but a reflection of your inner state. Change the image in your mind, and the reflection must change as well. Do not beg. Begging is the language of one who does not believe in their own worth. It declares to the universe, I am unworthy, but you are not here to grovel, you are here to claim. You are a divine being imbued with the power to create. Speak not with desperation, but with quiet confidence. What you desire is already yours. Do not fear. Fear is the great thief, robbing you of your peace and blocking the flow of good into your life. Fear whispers that you are alone, that you must fight for what you want. But this is an illusion. The only fight is within yourself to silence the doubts, the anxieties, the false beliefs that tell you you are anything less than enough. Instead, learn the art of allowing. Be still and know that all things are working for your highest good. Trust in the unseen forces that align to bring you exactly what you need at the perfect time. Detach from outcomes and watch as life unfolds effortlessly in your favor. Your stillness is magnetic. Your calm assurance draws to you what is meant for you. There is no need to stalk, seek, beg, or fear. Stand firm in the knowledge that you are already complete, and the world will reflect that back to you in miraculous ways. Detachment is not the absence of desire, but the mastery of it. To desire something is natural. It is the way of life to expand, to reach, to grow. But when that desire becomes an obsession, a fixation, it creates resistance. It signals to the universe that you do not yet possess what you seek, and in doing so, it pushes your desires further away. What you chase will flee, not because the thing you want is inherently elusive, but because your energy of desperation repels it. Think of a butterfly. If you rush toward it, hands outstretched, it flutters away, wary of your pursuit. But if you remain still, serene, and trust in its nature, It may gently land upon your shoulder. This is the power of detachment, a state of being where you acknowledge your desire, set your intention, and then release it into the flow of life with calm assurance. You are no longer bound by the tension of wanting, because you know it is already yours. The energy of chasing arises from fear. It is the fear of lack, the fear that you might lose something, or worse, that you might never have it at all. This fear creates a vibrational mismatch between you and your desire. The more you chase, the more you affirm its absence. You whisper to the universe, "I do not have this," and the universe, ever reflective, responds by echoing your belief. Detachment, on the other hand, is rooted in faith. Faith is not a passive hope, it is an active knowing. It is the silent conviction that your desires are already fulfilled in the unseen realm and that they will manifest in the physical world in perfect timing. When you detach, you are not letting go of your desire, you are letting go of the need to control how and when it will come to you. You trust the process, and in doing so, you open yourself to receiving. Imagine a seed planted in fertile soil. You do not dig it up every day to check if it has sprouted. Instead, you water it, give it sunlight, and trust that nature will take its course. Detachment works in the same way. Your desires are seeds planted in the garden of your mind. By focusing on their fulfillment with calm expectation, rather than frantic urgency, you allow them the space to grow and bloom. Detachment also shifts your focus inward, where the true source of your power resides. Often we chase because we believe that our happiness or completeness depends on something external. We believe that a relationship, a job, or a material possession will fill the void within us. But this is a falsehood. True fulfillment comes from aligning with the truth of who you are, a limitless creator. When you detach, you reclaim your power from the external world and anchor it within yourself. You realize that your worth is not defined by what you acquire, but by the fact that you are already whole and complete. Detachment creates the space for your desires to flow to you. When you are no longer clinging to an outcome, you are free from resistance. This freedom allows the natural laws of the universe to work in your favor. Your calm, confident energy acts as a magnet, drawing to you the very things you once chased. The relationship you once yearned for appears effortlessly. The opportunities you sought out of desperation now come to you unbidden. This is not magic, it is the natural consequence of aligning your inner state with the truth of abundance. To practice detachment is not to abandon your dreams, but to hold them lightly. Picture holding a bird in your hands. If you clutch it too tightly, you harm it. But if you hold it gently, it remains with you. So too must you treat your desires. Hold them with the assurance that they are already yours. Visualize their fulfillment, feel the joy they bring, and then release them, knowing that life will deliver them to you in ways more perfect than you can imagine. What you calmly claim flows into your life because calmness is the ultimate declaration of faith. It says to the universe, "I trust, I believe, I know," and in that trust, in that knowing, you unlock the power of detachment. You become a vessel through which all that you desire flows with ease and grace. Fear and faith are two opposing forces that govern our lives. They both stem from the mind, but they shape our experiences in vastly different ways. Fear is often misunderstood. It is not simply the feeling of being afraid, it is a deeper, more subtle force that whispers to us, "You are not enough. You are not capable, or you cannot have what you desire." Fear is the admission of doubt, the admission that you do not fully believe in the possibility of your dreams. It is a subtle denial of your own power and a surrender to the belief that your desires are unattainable or beyond your reach. When you operate from a place of fear, your energy becomes chaotic, uncertain, and scattered. You worry about the what-ifs and the could-be-yes, constantly doubting whether things will work out as you wish. Fear holds you in a place of limitation, making you believe that the external world determines your fate. The more you feed into fear, the more it takes hold of your mind, leaving you in a state of indecision and inaction. You may find yourself second-guessing every move, never trusting that the universe is working on your behalf. Faith, on the other hand, is the opposite of fear. Faith is the silent conviction that your desires are already fulfilled. It is the unwavering belief that everything you need or want is already within your reach, even if it has not yet materialized in the physical world. Faith does not require evidence or external validation. It is an inner knowing, a deep certainty that the outcome you desire is inevitable. Faith is not blind optimism, nor is it passive. It is an active force that guides your thoughts, your actions, and your choices. When you have faith, you no longer question whether your desires will come true, because you know they already are. The essence of faith is trust that the universe is always working for your highest good, even when things do not immediately appear as you expect them to. When you operate from faith, your energy becomes focused, calm, and purposeful. You move forward with confidence regardless of external circumstances, because you know that your desires are already on their way to you. Faith does not require constant proof, it simply requires belief. It is the belief that you are worthy of what you desire and that the universe is abundant enough to provide for you. Faith is a quiet knowing that everything you seek is already yours. It is not something you need to chase, beg for, or worry about. Instead, it is something you claim, something you trust to unfold in its perfect timing. This inner conviction is what attracts your desires to you, because the universe responds to your energy. When you believe that your desires are already fulfilled, you act as if they are, and the world must mirror that belief back to you. This is the essence of manifesting with faith. You align your internal world with the reality you wish to experience. You do not let fear or doubt sway you from the belief that your desires are already in motion. You simply trust the process, knowing that your desires are already on their way. Fear, by contrast, is a barrier. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of doubt and inaction. It prevents you from taking the necessary steps to bring your desires into reality. When you allow fear to dictate your actions, you block the very flow of abundance that is meant for you. When you make the conscious choice to shift from fear to faith, everything begins to change. You stop questioning and start believing. You stop doubting and start knowing. Faith opens doors where fear sees only walls. Faith leads to action. Because when you trust, you are not paralyzed by uncertainty. You move forward with clarity and purpose, knowing that your desires are already manifesting. Fear is nothing more than the absence of belief. Faith is the presence of that belief, an unwavering conviction that what you desire is already yours. And when you live from this place of faith, the universe aligns to bring you everything you have ever dreamed of. So often we find ourselves searching outside of ourselves for what we think we lack. Whether it's success, love, happiness, or fulfillment, we look to the external world for validation, believing that something or someone outside of us will provide the missing piece we so desperately seek. We chase after material possessions, relationships, and external achievements, thinking that they will bring us the happiness and sense of wholeness we desire. But in reality, everything we seek is already within us. The external world is merely a reflection of our inner state. When we seek outside ourselves, we are admitting that we believe something is lacking within us. We are projecting a belief that we are incomplete, that we must go beyond ourselves to find what we need. This belief keeps us trapped in a cycle of seeking, chasing, and grasping, but it never truly satisfies the deep longing we feel. The more we seek, the more we reinforce the idea that we are not enough, that our happiness or success depends on external factors. But this is a lie. In truth, everything we desire is already within us. All the love, abundance, wisdom, and power we seek are already part of our essence. The only thing that prevents us from fully experiencing them is our inability to recognize and embrace them. When we look outside ourselves for fulfillment, we are essentially denying the abundance that resides within us. We are like a treasure hunter searching for gold while standing on top of a mountain of jewels. The treasure we seek is not somewhere out there, it is within, waiting to be acknowledged, activated, and realized. The external world functions as a mirror reflecting our inner beliefs, thoughts, and emotions. What we see on the outside is a direct manifestation of what is happening within us. If we constantly feel lack or frustration, we will see that reflected in our outer circumstances. If we believe we are unworthy, we will attract experiences and people that mirror that belief. Conversely, when we shift our inner state to one of abundance, peace, and self-worth, the world around us reflects that shift. The law of attraction is not just about attracting things, it's about aligning with the energy that already exists within us. The key to living a fulfilling life is not to constantly seek more, but to turn inward and realize that everything we need is already within us. The power to create the life we desire lies not in external forces, but in our own thoughts and perceptions. When we stop seeking outside ourselves, we give ourselves permission to align with the power within us and recognize our own innate ability to manifest our desires. This shift in perspective requires a deep level of trust. Trust that you are whole and complete as you are. Trust that you are deserving of everything you desire, and that it is not something you need to chase after. When you stop seeking, you allow the universe to bring what is meant for you effortlessly. You stop forcing things and start allowing them to flow into your life naturally, because you recognize that what is meant for you cannot miss you. The external world, while it may appear to offer something outside of you, is simply a reflection of your inner world. If you are not satisfied with what you see, the first step is to turn inward and examine your thoughts and beliefs. What is it that you are telling yourself about your worth, your possibilities, and your future? Are you focusing on lack, or are you affirming abundance? Are you seeing yourself as incomplete, or as a whole and powerful being capable of achieving everything you desire? When you begin to change your inner dialogue, your outer world will begin to shift accordingly. The people you meet, the opportunities you encounter, and the circumstances that unfold will all reflect your new inner state. The more you realize that everything you seek is already within you, the more you will find that the world around you mirrors the truth back to you in ways that are beyond your expectations. By stopping the search for external validation and fulfillment, you free yourself from the need to chase after things that can never truly satisfy. Instead, you begin to align with the truth that everything you need, everything you desire, is already within you. You are the creator of your reality, and the world around you is simply a reflection of your inner state. When you change within, everything outside of you must change as well. We often find ourselves caught in the trap of forcing outcomes, trying to control every aspect of our lives. We set goals, make plans, and exert effort, believing that we must constantly push and struggle to achieve what we desire. However, this mindset of control and force only creates resistance and prevents the natural flow of life from unfolding in its own perfect timing. The art of allowing is the practice of trusting the process, of surrendering to the flow of life, and of believing that what is meant for you is already on its way. When we force outcomes, we are essentially operating from a place of fear and doubt. We fear that we won't get what we want, or that it won't happen in the way we envision. This fear drives us to take excessive action, sometimes pushing ourselves and others beyond what feels right. We become fixated on a specific outcome, trying to control every detail and orchestrate the perfect result. But in doing so, we are resisting the very thing we want to manifest. The truth is, forcing outcomes only creates more struggle. It blocks the natural flow of abundance and opportunity that is already available to us. When we are too focused on forcing things to happen, we close ourselves off from the infinite possibilities that the universe has in store for us. We may miss opportunities, overlook signs, or fail to recognize when something better than what we envisioned is being offered. The more we try to force something, the more we push it away. This is because we are coming from a place of lack, believing that we must fight for what we want, rather than trusting that it is already ours. Allowing is a practice of surrender. It's about releasing the need to control and stepping into a state of trust and openness. It's about letting go of the idea that you have to make everything happen and recognizing that you are part of a larger, more intelligent system. The universe knows what you want and has already put the wheels in motion to bring it to you. The only thing standing in the way is your resistance to the flow. When you surrender to this process, you stop battling against life and begin to flow with it. Trusting the natural flow of life means accepting that everything happens in its own time and in its own way. We may not always understand why things unfold as they do, but when we trust, we know that everything is happening for our highest good. There is no need to rush or force things to happen. The things that are meant for you will find their way to you. Sometimes they may come in unexpected ways, but that is the beauty of allowing. You free yourself from the limitations of rigid expectations and open yourself up to the abundance of possibilities that are available to you. The practice of allowing also requires patience. It's about letting go of the need for instant gratification and learning to trust the timing of your life. We live in a world that values speed and immediate results, but the most fulfilling things in life often take time to manifest. Whether it's a dream job, a loving relationship, or financial abundance, true fulfillment requires patience and trust. When you learn to allow, you stop rushing and start enjoying the journey. You trust that what is meant for you will come at the right time, and in the meantime, you embrace the present moment with gratitude. Allowing is not about passivity, it is about alignment. It is about trusting that you are already in the perfect place to receive what you desire. When you stop forcing outcomes, you make room for the natural flow of life to bring what is already yours. You trust the process, knowing that everything you need is already on its way to you. And when it arrives, you will recognize it as the perfect expression of what you've been waiting for. In a world that constantly demands action, motion, and progress, it can be easy to forget that true power resides in stillness. We are taught from a young age that success comes from chasing after goals, striving for more, and controlling every aspect of our lives. We are often told that the harder we work and the more effort we put in, the greater the rewards will be. Yet the deeper truth is that real power, the kind that transforms our lives, comes not from relentless striving, but from the quiet, magnetic force of stillness. Stillness is not passivity or inaction. It is the profound quietness of the mind and the heart, where all the noise of the world fades away, and you are able to hear your true self. In this space, there is no need to chase after anything, because you know that what is meant for you is already on its way. In stillness, you align with the natural rhythm of the universe, and in that alignment, you become a magnet for all that you desire. What is meant for you will come, not through force or struggle, but through your ability to be still, to trust, and to allow. You tap into a deeper intelligence that is always at work, guiding you towards the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances. This intelligence operates beyond the limitations of the mind, which often seeks to control and manipulate situations. When we stop trying to control everything and simply allow ourselves to be present, we create the space for the universe to work in our favor. The universe knows exactly what you need and when you need it. Your role is not to chase after it, but to become a clear vessel, receptive and open to the guidance that is already being offered to you. The magnetic power of stillness lies in the energy it creates. When you stop fighting and stop forcing things to happen, you shift your energy from one of resistance to one of acceptance. This shift in energy makes you magnetic. When you are at peace with yourself, when you are calm and centered, you naturally attract what is meant for you. There is no need to chase, beg, or struggle for your desires. They come to you effortlessly, drawn to you by the powerful, still energy you emit. It also allows you to reconnect with your true self. In the stillness, the distractions of the world fall away, and you are left with the essence of who you are. You are no longer defined by external circumstances or influenced by the opinions of others. Instead, you come to understand that your power does not come from outside of you, but from within. You are whole, complete, and worthy as you are. When you recognize your own inherent worth, you no longer feel the need to chase after external validation or approval. You trust in your own inner guidance, and you trust that everything you need will come to you in the perfect time. Stillness is also a powerful tool for manifestation. When you are still, you are able to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desires. In this state of alignment, your desires become inevitable. There is no need to force or push, because you are in perfect harmony with what you want to create. The universe responds to your energy and aligns itself with your frequency. The more you embrace stillness, the more you attract opportunities, people, and experiences that match your vibration. You become a magnet for all that you desire simply by being at peace with yourself and trusting in the process. The act of surrendering to stillness also opens you up to the infinite possibilities that life has to offer. Often when we are in motion, we are focused on one specific outcome or direction. Our vision becomes narrow and we limit ourselves to only one way of achieving what we want. But in the stillness, we open ourselves up to the unexpected. We allow life to unfold in its own perfect timing and in ways we may never have anticipated. The universe is far more creative and expansive than the limited plans we make with our minds. When we trust in the power of stillness, we give life the space to surprise us with its beauty and abundance. True power does not lie in chasing or controlling, it lies in the quiet confidence of knowing that what is meant for you will come. When you embrace the magnetic power of stillness, you align with the flow of the universe, and everything you need begins to find its way to you. In stillness, you are both the creator and the receiver, perfectly balanced in the flow of life, attracting everything you desire with grace and ease. The more you embrace stillness, the more you will see that all you've ever wanted is already on its way to you. Self-worth is the foundation upon which everything in your life is built. It is the internal belief in your inherent value, the knowing that you are worthy of love, success, happiness, and all the good things the world has to offer. When you understand and embrace your worth, the entire universe begins to respond accordingly. However, when you beg, chase, or live in fear, you are essentially denying your own value, and in doing so, you block the abundance that is waiting to flow into your life. The key to attracting everything you desire lies in knowing your worth. For when you truly believe in yourself, the world will mirror that belief back to you. Chasing after something, whether it's love, success, or validation, stems from a place of insecurity. When you feel that you must pursue something or someone in order to feel complete, you are signaling to the universe that you do not already have what you seek within you. The energy of chasing is one of lack, and this lack mentality repels the very things you want to attract. When you chase, you are not standing in your power. Instead of confidently drawing what you desire to you, you are constantly reaching outward, looking for something to fill a void that only you can truly fulfill. Chasing implies that you are incomplete, and nothing that is good for you will ever come from that space. Begging, similarly, comes from a place of desperation. When you beg for something or someone, you are showing the universe that you do not believe you are deserving of it. You are essentially saying, "I need this to be whole," instead of understanding that you are already whole. This act of desperation only pushes away what you seek, as it comes from a belief that you are not enough without it. The world mirrors this belief, and what you crave remains just out of reach. True power lies in the knowing that what you desire is already yours. You do not need to beg for it. You simply need to allow it to flow to you naturally. Fear is perhaps the most insidious of all. Fear stems from doubt and the belief that what you want is not possible, or worse, that you are not worthy of receiving it. When you operate from fear, you are constantly anticipating failure, rejection, or disappointment. This energy of fear sends a message to the universe that you do not trust in your own power, and as a result, it keeps you stuck in a cycle of scarcity. Fear is the opposite of self-worth. Where there is fear, there is no belief in your ability to attract and receive the good things life has to offer. When you face your fears, let go of doubt, and trust in yourself, you open up the space for your desires to manifest effortlessly. To know your worth is to stand confidently in the truth of who you are. It means recognizing that you are worthy of love, success, and abundance, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. When you value yourself, you no longer seek validation from external sources. You no longer chase after things that you believe will make you whole. You already know you are complete, and that everything you desire is already available to you. This inner knowing radiates out from you, and the world begins to reflect it back to you in the form of opportunities, loving relationships, and success. When you stand in your worth, you naturally attract what is in alignment with your energy. You become magnetic. People, circumstances, and events that match your vibration are drawn to you effortlessly. The universe responds to your inner belief, and everything you desire flows to you with ease. You no longer need to chase after what is meant for you, because it will find its way to you, guided by the force of your self-worth. You trust in the process and in your own ability to receive, knowing that what is yours will always find its way to you at the right time. The world mirrors back to you what you believe about yourself. If you believe you are worthy, the world will reflect that belief by offering you experiences that validate your worth. If you believe you are not deserving, the world will reflect that belief by keeping opportunities, love, and abundance just beyond your reach. Therefore, the most important work you can do is to cultivate a deep sense of self-worth. Understand that you are enough just as you are, and everything you desire is already on its way to you. When you stop begging, chasing, and fearing, and instead stand firm in the knowledge of your own worth, the world shifts. What you want no longer feels out of reach because you now understand that it is already yours. You are worthy of every good thing, and the universe will show you just how much. In conclusion, understanding and embracing your self-worth is the key to unlocking the abundant life that you deserve. When you stop chasing, begging, and fearing, and instead stand confidently in the knowledge that you are enough, the universe begins to mirror that belief back to you. Everything you desire is already within your reach. There is no need to chase or struggle for it. Trust in your inherent value, know that you are worthy, and watch as the world responds to your energy with opportunities, love, and success. Remember, your worth is not determined by external validation, but by the inner conviction that you are already complete. Thank you for your time and attention. May you continue to stand in your power, knowing that what is meant for you will always come to you effortlessly. What does it mean to be chosen? It means you have the power to shape your world. The universe does not hand this role to just anyone. It calls on those who are ready, those who can hear the whispers beneath the noise of daily life. And you heard it, that's why you're here. The desires stirring within you are not arbitrary. They are divine instructions planted in your heart to guide you toward your destiny. Do you feel it? That deep pull toward something greater, something extraordinary. That is your calling. And if you dare to trust it, you will find that the entire universe bends to your will. You may wonder, why me? Why not you? The power to create has always been within you, but only now are you awakening to it. There are no coincidences, no chance encounters. Everything in your life has led to this moment. Every joy, every challenge, every tear, it was all preparation. But let me be clear, the power of the chosen one comes with a requirement. You must step into your role fully without hesitation. The first step, see yourself as you wish to be. Not as the person others think you are, but as the magnificent creator you are destined to become. Act as if your vision is already real. Feel it, breathe it, live it. Doubt will knock at your door, it always does. But you must silence it. The only thing standing between you and the life you desire is your own disbelief. Trust in the unseen forces working tirelessly in your favor. Take a deep breath and consider this: there are no coincidences in the universe. Everything in your life has been orchestrated with divine precision, each moment a step in a grander design. If you found this message, it is not by chance, it is because you were meant to hear it. Something within you has called you to this exact moment, and the universe has responded. Whether you are aware of it or not, every thought, every action, and every experience is aligned to bring you here. Think about the twists and turns your life has taken. The moments of joy, the heartbreaks, the triumphs, and even the struggles, they have all played their part in shaping you into the person you are today. Perhaps there were times when you felt lost, questioning why certain things happened the way they did. Yet if you look back with an open heart, you may see that every setback carried a lesson, every detour a hidden blessing. These moments were not random, they were stepping stones guiding you toward a greater purpose. You are here now because you are ready to awaken to that purpose. Something deep within you has been whispering, urging you to seek more, to seek meaning, connection, and truth. That whisper is not a mere thought, it is the voice of the universe speaking to your soul. It has guided you through countless experiences, subtly orchestrating the events of your life so you could arrive at this very moment, ready to hear this message. The universe operates in ways that often seem incomprehensible, weaving together people, events, and circumstances in intricate patterns beyond our understanding. The person you sat next to on a train, the book you stumbled upon, the seemingly insignificant decisions you made, all of these threads are interconnected, forming a tapestry that is uniquely yours. You are not here by accident, your presence here is part of that divine tapestry. The words you are hearing now are not random. They are a key, unlocking something within you that has always been there but was waiting for the right moment to be revealed. It's easy to dismiss certain events in our lives as mere happenstance. But when you begin to pay attention, you will notice the synchronicities, the subtle ways the universe communicates with you. A song playing at just the right moment, a conversation that speaks directly to what you've been feeling, or a message like this one finding its way to you when you need it most. These are not coincidences, they are signs, reminders that you are on the right path. You might be wondering why you were led here, why this message found you. The answer is simple yet profound, because you are ready. Ready to embrace your power, to recognize that you are a co-creator of your reality, and to step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. The universe has been preparing you for this moment, aligning every detail of your journey so that you could hear these words and know deep within that they are meant for you. What you do with this realization is up to you. You can choose to dismiss it, to continue as though life is a series of random events. Or you can choose to embrace the truth that everything happens for a reason, that you are being guided towards something greater. This message is not just a coincidence, it is an invitation. An invitation to step into your power, to trust in the unseen forces that are working in your favor, and to take the next step on your journey with faith and confidence. You are not here by accident. You are here because you are ready to awaken to your purpose, to see the divine perfection in every moment, and to trust that the universe is always conspiring for your highest good. Let this truth sink in, there are no coincidences. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Take a moment to reflect on the extraordinary truth that the power to shape your life is not something you must search for outside yourself. It has always been within you, waiting for you to recognize it. Everything you experience, every joy, challenge, or opportunity, originates not from the external world, but from the beliefs, thoughts, and visions you hold within your mind. You are the creator of your reality, and what you imagine with conviction becomes the life you live. From the moment you were born, this power has been a part of you, quietly influencing your journey. Yet so often people live as though they are at the mercy of circumstances, as though life is something that happens to them rather than something they are actively shaping. This misconception arises from looking outward for answers, searching for validation or direction in a world that merely reflects the contents of their inner state. Consider this: the life you see around you is like a mirror, showing you the sum of your dominant thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. If you constantly dwell on lack, struggle, or fear, these experiences will manifest and multiply in your reality. Not because the world is inherently harsh or unkind, but because the universe is responding to the energy you are radiating. It simply echoes back to you what you hold as true. On the other hand, when you imagine abundance, peace, and joy with unwavering belief, these become the themes of your existence. The key to harnessing this creative power lies in your imagination. Imagination is not just a fleeting daydream or a tool for idle fantasy, it is the workshop of creation. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, and every transformation began as a thought, vividly imagined and held with conviction. When you see yourself as the person you wish to become, when you feel the emotions of having already achieved your desires, you set powerful forces in motion. The universe begins to rearrange itself, aligning circumstances, opportunities, and people to bring your vision into physical form. But this process requires more than fleeting thoughts or wishful thinking. It demands a deep, inner conviction and knowing that what you imagine is as real as the ground beneath your feet. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the unseen and the seen. When you align your inner world with the reality you desire, when you live and act as though it is already yours, your outer world will inevitably conform. Doubt and fear are the only obstacles that can disrupt this process. They are the voices that tell you it's impossible, that you're not worthy, or that circumstances are beyond your control. But these voices are illusions, born of past conditioning and false beliefs. They hold no real power unless you give it to them. When you learn to silence those doubts and replace them with unwavering faith in your creative ability, nothing can stand in your way. It's important to remember that your power to create is always active, whether you use it consciously or not. Every thought you entertain, every emotion you dwell on, is shaping your reality. The question is not whether you are creating, but what you are creating. Are you building a life of fulfillment, purpose, and joy? Or are you unconsciously perpetuating patterns of limitation and struggle? The choice is always yours, and the moment you decide to take control, your entire life can change. The world around you is malleable, a reflection of your inner state. It is not fixed or unyielding, it responds to the energy you project. You are not a victim of circumstances, nor are you bound by the limitations others may impose on you. You have the ability to transcend any obstacle, to rise above any challenge, simply by shifting your focus inward and aligning your thoughts with the reality you wish to experience. This is the profound truth: you are the creator of your reality. The power to shape your life is not something external, it is within you, as close as your next thought. When you imagine with conviction, when you feel the certainty of already having what you desire, you set the wheels of creation in motion. Trust in this process and you will witness the extraordinary power you hold. The life you dream of is not far away, it is within you, waiting to be brought to life. Your desires are not arbitrary whims or fleeting fantasies, they are profound signals from the universe, guiding you toward the person you are meant to become. They arise not by chance but with divine purpose, serving as whispers from the infinite, urging you to step into your true role. To dismiss your desires as trivial is to overlook the sacred guidance embedded within them. These longings are the compass of your soul, pointing you toward growth, fulfillment, and the realization of your highest potential. It is important to understand that your desires are not selfish or indulgent. They are divine impulses meant to inspire and uplift you. The longing for abundance, love, creativity, or purpose is not simply about achieving something external. It is about the transformation that occurs within you as you pursue these goals. In reaching for what you desire, you evolve, grow, and step into greater alignment with the truth of who you are. When you feel a deep yearning for something, it is a sign that it is already possible for you. The universe does not plant desires in your heart without also providing the means for their fulfillment. The very fact that you can imagine it is evidence that it exists as a potential reality. Your role is to nurture that seed, to believe in it, and to align your actions with the vision it represents. This is how you co-create with the universe, turning what begins as an inner whisper into a tangible experience. Yet, so many people resist their desires. They let doubt, fear, or societal expectations convince them that their dreams are unrealistic or unworthy of pursuit. They suppress their longings, telling themselves it is safer to settle for less. But the truth is, ignoring these divine signals only leads to stagnation and dissatisfaction. The discomfort you feel when you deny your desires is the universe's way of nudging you back onto your path. It is a reminder that you are meant for more, that there is untapped potential within you waiting to be realized. To embrace your desires is to honor the divine within you. It is to acknowledge that you are a vessel for creation capable of bringing forth beauty, joy, and abundance into the world. This does not mean chasing after fleeting pleasures or material possessions without purpose. True desires go deeper than surface level wants. They resonate with your core being, inspiring you to live with passion, intention, and authenticity. As you move toward your desires, you will encounter challenges. These are not meant to discourage you, but to strengthen you, to help you refine your vision and cultivate the faith needed to bring it to life. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow, to deepen your trust in the process, and to reaffirm your commitment to your path. The universe does not test you to punish you, it tests you to prepare you for the magnitude of what you are creating. Your desires are divine signals, and they carry with them the promise of fulfillment. When you honor them, you step into alignment with the flow of life, where everything you need begins to find its way to you. The people, resources, and opportunities that support your vision will appear, often in ways that seem miraculous. This is not luck, it is the natural result of living in harmony with your purpose. Do not ignore the whispers of your soul. They are not there to tease you, but to guide you, to remind you that you are a powerful co-creator in this vast universe. Trust the desires that stir your heart, for they are the roadmap to your greatest life. Believe in their divine origin and move toward them with faith, courage, and joy. In doing so, you will not only transform your life, but also fulfill the sacred role you were destined to play. The present moment is the most powerful tool you possess. It is not merely a fleeting instance in time, but a dynamic canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life. Each thought, feeling, and belief you hold in this moment becomes the seed of tomorrow's reality. The choices you make, the focus you maintain, and the energy you embody right now are shaping your future in ways both seen and unseen. To understand this is to unlock the profound truth that you are the creator, and your life is your creation. Many people live as though the present moment is insignificant, placing their attention either on the past, which cannot be changed, or on the future, which has not yet arrived. They let regret, fear, or uncertainty cloud their awareness of the now, forgetting that the present is the only place where true power resides. The past is but a memory, and the future is a projection. Neither has substance except what you give them in your thoughts. The present moment, however, is alive, vibrant, and pregnant with possibility. It is the eternal now where your creative power resides. Whatever you focus on now determines what manifests tomorrow. If you dwell on thoughts of lack, fear, or limitation, these will find their way into your reality, not because the universe is harsh, but because it faithfully mirrors the energy you project. Similarly, if you choose to focus on abundance, love, and the feeling of already having what you desire, the universe will conspire to bring these experiences into your life. This is not a passive process, but an active one, requiring conscious awareness and deliberate intention. Begin to see yourself as the chosen one, for indeed you are. You are chosen not in the sense of superiority over others, but in the sense that you possess within you the power to shape your destiny. This realization is the key to unlocking your potential. When you see yourself as the chosen one, you carry yourself differently. You begin to expect success, fulfillment, and joy, and these expectations, held with conviction, become self-fulfilling prophecies. To live as the chosen one is not about arrogance, but about alignment. It is about recognizing that you are inherently worthy, that the universe supports you, and that everything you desire is already available to you in the unseen realm. Your role is to align your thoughts and feelings with this truth, to act as though it is already so, and to trust the process. This alignment creates a resonance between you and your desires, drawing them into your experience effortlessly and naturally. The present moment offers you infinite opportunities to realign, to choose differently, and to focus on what you wish to create. If you find yourself consumed by doubt, fear, or negativity, remind yourself that you have the power to shift. In an instant, you can redirect your focus toward what uplifts and inspires you. This is the beauty of the present moment. It is ever renewing, giving you endless chances to create anew. Imagine yourself already living the life you desire. Feel the emotions of fulfillment, joy, and gratitude as though it were already yours. This act of imagination is not mere daydreaming, it is the creative process in its purest form. When you engage with these feelings deeply and consistently, you begin to embody the energy of the life you wish to create. The universe, in turn, reflects this energy back to you in the form of people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with your vision. You will understand that the present moment is neutral until you give it meaning. It does not impose limitations or conditions, it simply responds to your focus. If you view this moment as a gift, as a blank canvas upon which you can paint your desires, you will begin to see its limitless potential. Conversely, if you see it as a burden, filled with obstacles and constraints, you will find these reflected in your experience. The choice is always yours. As you move through your day, practice mindfulness and intentionality. Notice the thoughts you entertain and the emotions you cultivate. Are they aligned with the reality you wish to create? If not, gently redirect them. Treat each moment as an opportunity to reaffirm your role as the chosen one, the creator of your life. Speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement, for the words you use carry power. Declare your worthiness, your capability, and your readiness to receive all that you desire. When you embrace the present moment as your canvas and see yourself as the chosen one, you transform not only your perception of life but life itself. Reality begins to shift in ways that seem miraculous, yet these miracles are the natural result of living in alignment with your creative power. Trust in this process and know that every masterpiece begins with a single brushstroke. The life you envision is waiting to be painted, one deliberate, inspired moment at a time. Doubt is the only enemy that stands between you and the extraordinary life you are destined to live. It is the silent saboteur, the inner voice that questions, undermines, and hesitates. Yet doubt has no power of its own. It thrives only when you grant it authority over your thoughts and emotions. To reclaim your power, you must recognize doubt for what it truly is, a shadow of fear, a fleeting illusion that dissolves in the light of faith. Doubt, on the other hand, is the voice that says, what if it doesn't happen, or what if I'm not capable? It pulls your focus away from your vision and directs it toward fear, scarcity, and limitation. The danger of doubt lies in its ability to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you entertain it, the more it shapes your reality, not because it is true, but because your energy flows where your attention goes. If you focus on doubt, you strengthen it. If you focus on faith, you transcend it. To release doubt, you must first understand its origins. Doubt often arises from past experiences, societal conditioning, or fear of the unknown. These influences create a narrative in your mind, a story that says you are not enough, that success is for others, or that the universe is indifferent to your desires. But these stories are not truths, they are interpretations. You have the power to rewrite them, to choose a narrative that empowers you rather than limits you. One of the most effective ways to overcome doubt is to anchor yourself in the present moment. Doubt thrives in the future, in the endless what-ifs that pull you away from the now. But the present moment is your sanctuary, the place where your power resides. When you bring your awareness to the here and now, you quiet the noise of doubt and connect with the stillness of your inner being. In this state, you can hear the whispers of your intuition, the gentle guidance that assures you all is well. Another way to dissolve doubt is to cultivate gratitude for what is already unfolding in your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from fear to trust. When you appreciate what you have, you create a vibration of receiving, opening the door for more blessings to flow into your experience. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to doubt, because it reminds you that the universe has already provided for you in countless ways and will continue to do so. Trusting the process is essential. The path to your desires is rarely a straight line, it is a journey of growth, discovery, and alignment. Along the way, there may be moments of uncertainty, but these are not signs of failure. They are opportunities to deepen your faith, to reaffirm your vision, and to align more fully with the energy of what you seek. Trust that every delay, detour, or challenge serves a purpose, preparing you for the fulfillment of your dreams. You must also learn to act as if your desires are already yours. This is not about pretending or forcing, but about embodying the energy of fulfillment. When you feel the joy, gratitude, and confidence of already having what you want, you create a magnetic pull that draws your desires to you. Doubt cannot coexist with the energy of certainty. The more you practice living from a place of faith, the weaker doubt becomes until it fades entirely. You let go of the need to control every detail. Doubt often arises from a lack of trust in the timing and methods of the universe. But the how and when are not your concern. Your role is to hold the vision and take inspired action. The universe has its own divine order, a flow that is always working in your favor, even when it seems otherwise. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. Doubt is not your enemy because it exists. It is your enemy only when you believe it. You have the power to choose faith over fear, trust over hesitation, and creation over limitation. Each time you do, you strengthen your connection to the extraordinary. Release doubt, embrace faith, and trust the process. The universe is always conspiring in your favor, and your dreams are already on their way to you. All you need to do is believe. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the flow of blessings into your life. It is not merely an act of politeness or a fleeting moment of appreciation. It is a powerful spiritual practice that aligns you with the infinite abundance of the universe. Gratitude is a recognition of the abundance already present in your life, a conscious acknowledgement that everything you have, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, is part of the divine orchestration supporting your journey. When you cultivate gratitude, you magnify this alignment, creating a magnetic pull for even greater blessings to manifest. The practice of gratitude begins with awareness. Many people move through life focusing on what they lack, what they have yet to achieve, or the challenges they face. This focus on scarcity creates a vibration of lack, which the universe mirrors back. But when you shift your focus to what is already present, you change the energy you project. Gratitude is a declaration that you recognize the abundance in your life, and in doing so, you invite more of it. It is an act of faith, a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more because you value what you already have. Gratitude has a magnifying effect. When you express genuine appreciation, you amplify the energy of what you are grateful for, drawing more of the same into your experience. This is not a passive process. It is a deliberate choice to see the good in every situation, to find the blessings even in the challenges. The more you practice gratitude, the more you will notice the abundance around you, and this awareness creates a ripple effect, attracting even greater abundance into your life. To cultivate gratitude, start with the simple things. Each day, take a moment to reflect on the blessings in your life. These could be as basic as the air you breathe, the roof over your head, or the food on your table. They could be as profound as the love of family and friends, the lessons learned from difficult experiences, or the opportunities that have come your way. By focusing on these gifts, you train your mind to see abundance rather than lack. Gratitude is also deeply connected to the present moment. When you are grateful, you are fully present, immersed in the here and now. You are not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. You are engaged with the beauty of this moment. This presence is a powerful state of being, for it is in the present that your creative power resides. Gratitude grounds you in the now, where you can fully appreciate the richness of life and tap into the limitless potential of the universe. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a way of being. It is a choice to live in alignment with the abundance of the universe, to see every moment as a gift, and to trust that you are always supported. The more you embody this state, the more you will find to be grateful for, and the more the universe will respond in kind. Recognize that your desires are not random, they are sacred signals guiding you toward your purpose. See the present moment as a canvas where your thoughts and emotions paint the reality of tomorrow. Release doubt, for it is the only barrier between you and the extraordinary. Above all, embrace gratitude as the key that unlocks infinite blessings, amplifying your connection to the abundance that surrounds you. As you walk forward, know that you are supported by the unseen forces of the universe, which conspire in your favor. Trust the process, hold your vision, and act as if your dreams are already realized. In doing so, you align with your highest potential and allow miracles to unfold effortlessly. Thank you for allowing these words to touch your heart and mind. May they inspire you to live boldly, dream expansively, and create a life that reflects the greatness within you. You are chosen, and your journey has only just begun. In the face of life's trials, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, as though the weight of the world is pressing on your shoulders. Problems, be they financial struggles, relationship challenges, or battles with your own self-worth, can seem insurmountable. Yet there exists a power far greater than any problem you will ever encounter. That power is your God, the infinite source of strength, wisdom, and love. Today I want to remind you of this simple truth: your problems may look big, but they are nothing compared to the boundless power of God. When you truly grasp this, when you believe it, and when you act upon it, mountains move and obstacles crumble. Together, let us journey into this profound realization and awaken the divine potential already within you. Imagine for a moment standing in the middle of a vast desert. The scorching sun beats down relentlessly. You are thirsty, lost, and surrounded by endless dunes of sand. The longer you stand there, the more hopeless it feels. Now, let me ask you, what would happen if in that very moment you remembered that just beneath the surface there was an underground river of pure, life-giving water waiting for you? Would you keep wandering in despair, or would you dig? This is where many of us are in life. We stand in our personal deserts, drowning in financial debt, consumed by heartbreak, or paralyzed by fear. We convince ourselves there is no way out. But I'm here to tell you something extraordinary: you are not alone, and the answer you seek is already here. What if I told you that every problem you face is an illusion of separation, a trick of the mind that makes you forget the limitless power of God? What if the very thing that feels impossible to overcome is, in fact, the stage on which your breakthrough will take place? Stay with me, because by the time we're done, you will see that your problems, no matter how overwhelming, are but shadows in the presence of divine light. And when you align with this truth, nothing can stand against you. The infinite power of God is a truth so profound that, when fully grasped, it transforms lives. To recognize this power is not merely to acknowledge it with words, but to allow its reality to permeate your being, to become the foundation of your faith, and to shape your actions. It is the difference between seeing God as an abstract idea and experiencing Him as the all-encompassing force that governs the universe in your life. Pause for a moment and reflect on the grandeur of creation. The sun rises each day without fail, illuminating the world and sustaining life. The stars, billions of them, are perfectly positioned in the vast expanse of the universe, each one a testament to an order far beyond human comprehension. The same force that commands the galaxies and orchestrates the symphony of nature is the very essence of the God we serve. And yet, as vast and incomprehensible as this power is, it is also deeply personal, intimately aware of every thought, every struggle, and every longing within you. To recognize God's infinite power, you must first confront your limitations. How often do we attempt to navigate life with our finite understanding, leaning on our own strength to solve problems that overwhelm us? When faced with challenges, we default to worry, anxiety, and doubt, as though the weight of the world rests solely on our shoulders. But consider this: the very fact that you feel burdened is evidence that you are attempting to carry what was never yours to bear. God's power is not distant or inaccessible, it is here. now waiting for you to release your grip and trust in Him completely. This recognition begins with a shift in perspective. Problems appear insurmountable when viewed through the lens of human limitation. A mountain may seem unmovable when you stand at its base, but from the perspective of the heavens, it is but a speck. Your trials, no matter how colossal they seem, are minuscule in the presence of God. He is not bound by the constraints of time, space, or circumstance. What seems impossible to you is already accomplished in His divine will. To recognize this is to unlock the door to miracles. Faith is the bridge to this recognition. Faith is not blind optimism or wishful thinking. It is a deep, unshakable knowing that God's power is real and at work in your life. It is the conviction that even when you cannot see the outcome, God is already orchestrating the solution. When you recognize His power, fear loses its grip. Anxiety dissipates, and a quiet confidence takes its place. You begin to move, speak, and live as though the problem has already been resolved, not because of your ability, but because of His. One of the most profound ways to recognize God's power is through gratitude. Gratitude acknowledges what God has already done and opens your heart to receive more of His blessings. When you look back on your life, you will find countless instances where His power carried you through. Perhaps it was a financial breakthrough when you were at your lowest, a relationship mended against all odds, or an inner strength that rose within you during a season of despair. These are not coincidences, they are reminders of His faithfulness and omnipotence. To truly recognize God's power, you must also silence the voices of doubt. Doubt is the enemy of faith, a whisper that says, "What if God doesn't come through?" But ask yourself this: has He ever failed you? The very breath in your lungs is evidence of His sustaining power. The same God who breathed life into you, who formed you with purpose and precision, is the God who promises to be your refuge and strength. He does not abandon, He does not falter. His power is unchanging, eternal, and unmatched. When you recognize God's power, you also begin to see your problems differently. They are no longer obstacles, but opportunities for God to demonstrate His greatness. The same God who parted the Red Sea, who calmed the storm with a word, and who brought the dead to life is the God who is at work in your situation. Do you believe that? Truly believe it? Because when you do, fear gives way to faith, and despair turns into hope. Prayer is a powerful tool in recognizing God's power. Prayer is not just asking for what you need, it is a declaration of who God is. When you pray, you align yourself with His infinite power. You are not informing God of your problems, He already knows. Prayer is your way of saying, "I trust you, I believe in your power. I surrender my worries to you." It is in this surrender that His power becomes evident. Not because it wasn't there before, but because you have made room for it to manifest in your life. Recognizing God's power requires action. Faith without works is dead, and belief without action is incomplete. When you truly believe in God's infinite power, you will act in alignment with that belief. You will step forward even when the path is unclear, trusting that He will guide your steps. You will speak words of faith, even when doubt tries to creep in. You will approach your problems not with a spirit of fear, but with the confidence that the God of the universe is fighting on your behalf. Remember, this God's power is not a distant concept or an abstract idea. It is real, present, and available to you. It is bigger than any problem, stronger than any storm, and more enduring than any trial. To recognize it is to live in freedom, knowing that you are not alone, and that victory is already yours. Open your heart to this truth, and you will see His power at work in ways that exceed your wildest expectations. Your perspective shapes your reality. The way you view your problems determines how you respond to them, and how you respond ultimately defines the outcome. When life confronts you with challenges, it is natural to feel trapped, as though there is no way out. But what if the very key to overcoming those challenges lies not in changing the situation, but in shifting the way you see it? Perspective is the lens through which you interpret the world. And when you align that lens with the truth of God's infinite power, What once seemed impossible becomes entirely achievable. Imagine standing before a towering mountain. From where you stand, it seems immovable, its vastness overwhelming. But what happens when you change your perspective? When you ascend to the skies and look down, that same mountain becomes a small part of a much larger landscape. It loses its power to intimidate you because you see it differently. The mountain has not changed, but your perspective has transformed, and with it, your approach to climbing it. The problems you face in life are no different. They loom large when viewed through the lens of fear and limitation. They seem insurmountable when your focus is on your lack of resources, strength, or answers. But the moment you shift your perspective, something miraculous happens. You begin to see your challenges not as barriers, but as stepping stones. You realize that every difficulty carries within it the seed of growth, the potential for transformation, and an opportunity for God's power to be revealed. To shift your perspective, you must first recognize the limitations of your current view. Many of us are conditioned to see life through the narrow lens of human logic and past experiences. We measure possibilities by what we have seen or done before, and in doing so, we place unnecessary limits on what can happen. But God's perspective is limitless. He sees the end from the beginning. He knows the purpose behind every trial and the victory that lies beyond it. When you choose to see through His eyes, you begin to perceive the fullness of possibilities, even in the face of adversity. Faith is the catalyst for this shift. Faith allows you to see beyond the visible, to trust in what you cannot yet grasp with your senses. It invites you to step outside the confines of fear and embrace a perspective rooted in hope and assurance. When you face a problem, faith whispers, "This is not the end, this is the beginning of something greater." It reminds you that what looks like a setback is often a setup for a breakthrough. Faith shifts your focus from the problem to the God who is infinitely greater than it. One of the most powerful shifts in perspective you can make is to see your problems as opportunities. This is not about denying the difficulty or pretending everything is fine. It is about recognizing that every challenge has the potential to teach, refine, and elevate you. When you view your struggles as opportunities for growth, you move from a place of victimhood to a place of empowerment. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger?" Gratitude is another key to shifting your perspective. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, your entire outlook changes. Gratitude opens your eyes to the blessings that are already present, even in the midst of hardship. It shifts your attention from the size of the problem to the abundance of God's provision. When you cultivate a spirit of gratitude, you begin to see how God has been faithful in the past, and this strengthens your faith for the present and future. Prayer is also a powerful tool for perspective transformation. In prayer, you bring your concerns before God, but more importantly, you align your heart and mind with His truth. Prayer is not about informing God of your struggles, He already knows them. It is about recalibrating your perspective to see your struggles through the lens of His promises. In prayer, you are reminded that you are not alone, that you have access to divine wisdom, and that nothing is too hard for Him. Another way to shift your perspective is to surround yourself with the right influences. The voices you listen to and the company you keep have a profound impact on how you see your life. Choose to fill your mind with words of encouragement, faith, and truth. Seek out those who uplift and inspire you rather than those who reinforce negativity. When you surround yourself with people and resources that align with God's perspective, your own perspective begins to change. Action is the final piece of the puzzle. Shifting your perspective is not a passive process, it requires intentionality. Take steps to align your thoughts, words, and actions with the new perspective you are cultivating. If you believe that God is greater than your problem, act as though that is true. Speak words of faith, even when doubt tries to creep in. Move forward with confidence, even when the path is unclear. Your actions will reinforce your new perspective and help solidify it as your default way of thinking. Shifting your perspective is about choosing to see your life through the lens of God's truth, rather than the limitations of your circumstances. It is about trusting that even in the darkest moments there is light. Even in the most difficult trials there is purpose. And even when the odds seem stacked against you, there is victory. When you make this shift, your problems lose their power to paralyze you. Instead, they become opportunities for growth, transformation, and the revelation of God's glory in your life. Faith is the unshakable foundation upon which your life must stand. When storms arise and the winds of doubt and fear threaten to overwhelm you, faith becomes your anchor, holding you steady and preventing you from being swept away by the currents of despair. It is not a passive belief, but an active trust in the promises and power of God. A trust that transforms the way you face challenges and navigate the uncertainties of life. To anchor yourself in faith means to root your heart and mind in the certainty that God is who He says He is and will do what He has promised. Faith is not wishful thinking, it is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. It requires you to look beyond the visible circumstances and hold firmly to the unseen truths of God's power, love, and sovereignty. When you are anchored in faith, your confidence does not come from what you see or feel, but from the unchanging nature of God. The first step to anchoring yourself in faith is recognizing the futility of relying solely on your own strength. Life is filled with situations that are beyond your control, problems that defy human solutions, and challenges that seem insurmountable. When you try to face these with your limited resources, you inevitably feel overwhelmed. Faith shifts your reliance from your own abilities to God's infinite power. It is the acknowledgement that while you are limited, He is limitless. While you may be weak, He is strong. And while you may not see the way forward, He has already paved the path. Faith requires surrender, a letting go of the need to understand every detail or control every outcome. This surrender is not a sign of weakness, but of profound strength. It is the realization that your greatest victories will not come from striving, but from trusting. When you anchor yourself in faith, you release the burden of worry and place your trust in God's hands. This act of surrender frees you from the paralyzing grip of fear and allows you to move forward with peace and assurance. Faith also demands persistence. It is easy to believe when everything is going well, but true faith is tested in the valleys, in the moments when answers seem delayed, and when the weight of waiting threatens to crush your spirit. Anchoring yourself in faith means refusing to waver, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. It is standing firm in the belief that God's timing is perfect and that His plans for you are good, even when you cannot yet see the outcome. This kind of faith is not blind optimism, it is a deep-rooted conviction that God is faithful and will fulfill His promises. One of the greatest tools for anchoring yourself in faith is remembering God's faithfulness in the past. Reflect on the times when He came through for you, the moments when what seemed impossible became reality because of His intervention. These memories are like anchors themselves, grounding you in the truth that if He was faithful then, He will be faithful now. By looking back on His track record, you reinforce your confidence in His unchanging nature. Faith grows stronger when you speak and declare it. Words have power, and when you choose to speak words of faith rather than fear, you align your heart and mind with God's promises. Even in the face of doubt, declare His truth. I am not alone, God is with me. This situation is not too big for Him. He is my provider, my protector, and my guide. These affirmations are not just for comfort, they are acts of spiritual warfare, pushing back against the voices of doubt and fear that seek to shake your faith. Prayer is another anchor for your faith. Through prayer, you connect directly with the source of your strength, laying your concerns at His feet and inviting His presence into your situation. Prayer is not merely a request for help, it is an act of trust, a declaration that you believe He hears you and will respond. In prayer, you exchange your anxiety for His peace, your uncertainty for His assurance, Every time you pray, you tighten your grip on the anchor of faith, reminding yourself that you are not alone in your struggles. Surrounding yourself with people of faith is equally important. When you are anchored in faith, it helps to be in the company of those who share your belief and can encourage you when your strength wavers. Their testimonies of God's goodness can inspire you to keep believing, and their prayers can uplift you in times of need. Faith is contagious, and being part of a community that trusts in God reinforces your own faith and provides support when you feel weak. Faith also calls you to act. Being anchored in faith does not mean passively waiting for everything to change. It means stepping out, even when the path is unclear, because you trust that God will guide your steps. Faith without action is incomplete. When you move forward in faith, even with uncertainty, you demonstrate your trust in God's provision and open the door for Him to work through your obedience. Anchoring yourself in faith is about perspective. It is choosing to see your problems through the lens of God's power rather than your limitations. It is recognizing that no matter how fierce the storm, the one who calms the seas is with you. When you anchor yourself in faith, you are unshakable. The winds may blow and the waves may rise, but you remain steadfast, knowing that your foundation is secure. God is greater than any challenge you face. And when you anchor yourself in faith, you stand rooted in that unassailable truth. Words have an undeniable power. They shape your thoughts, influence your actions, and set the tone for your life. What you speak over your problems has the ability to magnify them or diminish them, to bring life into your situation or to drain it away. When you speak life over your problems, you align yourself with the power of faith and the promises of God. You declare that your challenges are not the end of your story, but merely stepping stones to greater triumphs. The first step in speaking life over your problems is to recognize the authority of your words. Every word you utter carries weight, influencing your emotions, thoughts, and circumstances. When you speak words of defeat, doubt, or fear, you give power to those forces. But when you speak words of faith, hope, and victory, you invite solutions, strength, and divine intervention into your situation. Your words are seeds, and what you plant with your tongue will grow into the reality you experience. Speaking life is not merely a positive attitude, it is an act of faith that calls forth God's promises into existence. To speak life, you must first guard your tongue against negativity. It is easy to complain about your circumstances, to voice frustration or despair, especially when your problems seem overwhelming. However, every time you dwell on the problem instead of the solution, you reinforce its grip on your life. Instead of saying, "This is impossible," declare, "All things are possible with God," instead of lamenting, "I am not enough," proclaim, "Through Him I am more than enough." This shift in language creates a shift in perspective and allows you to see opportunities where there once seemed to be only obstacles. Speaking life requires you to align your words with truth, not appearances. Faith does not deny the existence of problems, it denies them the final say. When you speak life over your problems, you acknowledge their presence but declare their defeat. You say, "This sickness may be in my body, but by His stripes I am healed," you affirm. "This financial challenge may be real, but my God shall supply all my needs according to His riches in glory." These declarations are not just wishful thinking, they are rooted in the unchanging promises of God, who is faithful to perform what He has spoken. Another key to speaking life is to focus on gratitude. Gratitude shifts your attention from what is lacking to what is abundant. It is a powerful weapon against despair because it reminds you of God's past faithfulness and builds your confidence in His ability to act again. Even in the midst of your problems, there is always something to be thankful for. By thanking God in advance for the breakthrough, you demonstrate your trust in His power and His timing. Gratitude turns your focus away from the problem and toward the solution, enabling you to speak life with authenticity and conviction. Surround yourself with an environment that reinforces the language of life. Spend time with people who speak encouragement and faith, and avoid those who constantly dwell on negativity and doubt. Listen to uplifting messages, read scriptures that remind you of God's power, and immerse yourself in an atmosphere that fosters belief. Your words are influenced by what you hear and absorb, so be intentional about creating a space where speaking life becomes second nature. Speaking life is not just about your own circumstances, it is about being a vessel of life for others. When you encourage someone else, when you speak hope into their challenges and affirm their worth, you not only lift their spirits but also strengthen your own faith. Your words have the power to build bridges of hope, not only for yourself but for those around you. By choosing to speak life in every situation, you become a beacon of light, reminding others of the power of faith and the greatness of God. Speaking life over your problems is a declaration of victory, a proclamation that God is bigger than any challenge you face. It is a reminder that your words, when spoken in faith, are a powerful tool for transformation. No matter how daunting your problems may seem, they are no match for the God who walks with you. Speak life boldly and watch as your words shape your reality, bringing hope, healing, and restoration into every area of your life. Releasing control is one of the most transformative yet challenging steps on the journey of faith. It requires surrendering the illusion that we are the masters of our destiny and instead trusting in a higher power that sees the entirety of our lives with perfect clarity. Control is a defense mechanism we often cling to, believing that by holding tightly to outcomes, we can protect ourselves from uncertainty and pain. But in truth, this need for control often creates more anxiety, frustration, and resistance than it resolves. Releasing control is not about giving up, it's about letting go of the struggle and trusting that God's plans are greater than our own. When you release control, you shift from striving to aligning. Striving implies a relentless effort to force things into place, to make life conform to your own limited understanding of what is best. Aligning, however, is a state of flow where your actions, thoughts, and intentions harmonize with the divine will. It's the realization that you don't need to have all the answers or foresee every step, because you are being guided by one who knows the end from the beginning. Letting go of control is an act of profound faith, affirming that God's wisdom and timing are perfect, even when they don't align with your immediate desires. Letting go of control also means releasing the need to understand every detail. As humans, we crave clarity and explanations. We want to know why certain things happen, why prayers are delayed, or why doors remain closed. But God's ways are higher than our ways, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. When you release control, you embrace the mystery of divine timing and trust that even unanswered questions serve a purpose in the grand design of your life. It is in this space of surrender that you find peace, knowing that you don't need to have all the answers because you are held by the one who does. Releasing control allows you to rest. Control is exhausting, it drains your energy and robs you of joy. When you try to manage every detail of your life, you carry burdens you were never meant to bear. But when you release control, you place those burdens into God's hands, where they belong. This doesn't mean you stop taking action or being responsible, it means you stop carrying the weight of outcomes. You do what you can with what you have and trust God to handle the rest. This shift from striving to resting is liberating, freeing you to focus on the present moment rather than worrying about the future. Letting go also makes space for grace. When you hold tightly to your own plans, you can inadvertently block the blessings and opportunities God has prepared for you. Releasing control opens the door for His grace to flow freely into your life. It allows Him to work in ways that exceed your expectations, often bringing outcomes you could never have orchestrated on your own. Grace fills the gaps where your strength ends, reminding you that you are not alone in your journey. Releasing control is not a one-time decision, it is a daily practice. It requires vigilance to recognize when fear and doubt creep in, tempting you to take matters into your own hands. It requires humility to admit that your own efforts are limited and that you need divine intervention. And it requires trust, a deep, unwavering trust that God is for you, not against you, and that He is working all things together for your good. Each day as you release control, you grow in faith, becoming more attuned to His guidance and more resilient in the face of challenges. One of the most beautiful aspects of releasing control is the freedom it brings. When you let go of the need to manipulate outcomes, you free yourself from the chains of worry and anxiety. You become less attached to specific results and more open to the unfolding of God's plan. This freedom allows you to live with greater joy and gratitude, knowing that you are not responsible for carrying the weight of the world. Instead, you are free to experience life as it comes, trusting that every moment, whether joyful or difficult, is part of a larger purpose. Releasing control also deepens your relationship with God. It shifts your focus from what you can do to what He can do through you. It fosters a posture of humility and surrender, reminding you that your strength is found not in your own efforts but in His power. This intimacy with God grows as you continually place your trust in Him, leaning on His promises and seeking His guidance. It is in this place of surrender that you experience His presence most profoundly, feeling His peace and assurance even in the midst of uncertainty. Releasing control is an act of love. It is saying, God, I trust you more than I trust myself. I believe in your goodness, your faithfulness, and your power to lead me through every season of life. It is acknowledging that while you may not see the whole picture, you are part of a divine masterpiece created by a loving hand. When you release control, you step into the freedom, peace, and joy that come from knowing that God is in control and that His plans for you are far greater than anything you could imagine. Visualizing victory is a profound and transformative practice that bridges the gap between faith and manifestation. It is the act of seeing yourself already triumphant, already living in the fulfillment of your desires, and already walking in the reality of your breakthrough. This isn't wishful thinking, it's a spiritual discipline rooted in the belief that what you focus on becomes your reality. To visualize the victory is to plant seeds of faith in the soil of your imagination, allowing them to grow and manifest into your lived experience. It is an act of declaring, through thought and intention, that the promises of God are already yours. Your mind is a powerful tool, capable of shaping your reality in ways you may not fully understand. When you visualize victory, you activate the power of your imagination, which is the creative force through which God works in you. Imagination is not mere fantasy, it is the faculty that enables you to conceive of a life beyond your current circumstances. It is the blueprint for your future, the map that guides you from where you are to where you want to be. By consistently visualizing the victory, you align your thoughts with your desires, creating a mental and spiritual pathway for their realization. Victory begins in the mind. Before it manifests in the physical world, it must first be conceived in your thoughts. When you visualize, you are not just imagining success, you are stepping into the feeling of already having achieved it. You see yourself as victorious, free, and abundant. You allow your mind to dwell on the end result rather than the obstacles. This is crucial because what you focus on expands. If you focus on problems, they grow in your perception. If you focus on victory, you expand your awareness of opportunities, solutions, and divine guidance. So to visualize victory is to claim it as your own. It is to affirm that the battle is already won, even if the circumstances around you suggest otherwise. This requires faith, a belief that transcends what your physical senses can perceive. Faith enables you to see the unseen, to grasp the invisible truths that exist in the spiritual realm. When you visualize your victory, you are declaring it is done even before the evidence appears. This declaration aligns your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you are calling forth. Visualization is not just about seeing, it's about feeling. It's not enough to picture your desired outcome, you must also immerse yourself in the emotions of having already achieved it. Feel the joy, peace, and gratitude of victory as if it has already come to pass. These emotions are powerful signals to the universe and to your subconscious mind, reinforcing your belief and drawing your desires closer to you. When you visualize with emotion, you create a resonance between your inner world and the outer reality you seek to manifest. One of the most transformative aspects of visualizing victory is the way it reshapes your mindset. As you repeatedly see yourself victorious, You begin to internalize the belief that you are capable, worthy, and destined for success. This shift in belief changes the way you approach challenges. You no longer see obstacles as insurmountable barriers, but as opportunities to grow, learn, and move closer to your goals. Your confidence increases, your resilience strengthens, and you become more attuned to the divine guidance that leads you to your victory. Visualization also helps you to stay focused. In a world filled with distractions and negativity, it is easy to lose sight of your goals. By consistently visualizing your victory, you keep your mind fixed on what truly matters. You train your thoughts to dwell on possibilities rather than limitations, on solutions rather than problems. This focus creates clarity, enabling you to make decisions and take actions that align with your desired outcome. It is a discipline that keeps you anchored in faith and purpose, even in the face of adversity. When you visualize victory, you also open yourself to divine inspiration. As you meditate on the vision of your desired outcome, new ideas, strategies, and opportunities begin to emerge. This is not coincidence, it is the result of aligning your thoughts with the divine will. Your mind becomes a vessel through which God's wisdom flows, guiding you step by step toward your breakthrough. Visualization is not passive, it is an active partnership with the Creator, a way of co-creating your reality in alignment with His purpose for your life. Consistency is key in visualization. It's not something you do once and forget, it's a daily practice that reinforces your faith and strengthens your resolve. Each time you visualize your victory, you are building a foundation of belief that becomes unshakable. This consistency also builds momentum, creating a ripple effect that influences every area of your life. As your thoughts align with victory, your words, actions, and attitudes follow suit, creating a powerful synergy that accelerates your progress. It's important to remember that visualization is not a substitute for action, it is the inspiration for it. Seeing the victory in your mind compels you to take steps toward making it a reality. It motivates you to persevere, even when the journey is difficult, because you have already seen the end result. This vision becomes your North Star, guiding you through challenges and reminding you why you started in the first place. It fuels your determination, strengthens your faith, and keeps you moving forward. Visualizing victory is an act of worship. It is a way of honoring God's promises and expressing your trust in His power to bring them to pass. It is declaring that you believe in His goodness, His faithfulness, and His ability to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that you ask or think. By visualizing your victory, you are not just imagining a better future, you are stepping into the reality of God's promises, living as though they are already fulfilled. This act of faith not only transforms your circumstances but also deepens your relationship with the one who holds your victory in His hands. Taking inspired action is the natural extension of faith and visualization. It is the bridge between belief and manifestation, where your trust in God's promises is expressed through deliberate and purposeful steps. Inspired action is not the same as mere busyness or activity. It flows from a place of inner alignment where your heart, mind, and spirit are attuned to divine guidance. This is the kind of action that carries the force of purpose, propels you toward your goals, and brings your desires into reality. It is deliberate, empowered, and anchored in the conviction that what you seek is already yours. The foundation of inspired action is clarity. When you have a clear vision of what you desire and believe wholeheartedly in its fulfillment, you begin to notice pathways and opportunities that may have been invisible before. Clarity allows you to discern between distractions and meaningful steps. It guides you to invest your time, energy, and resources in actions that are aligned with your purpose. This is not about striving in desperation, it's about moving with intention and faith, trusting that each step you take is guided by God's wisdom and leads you closer to your desired outcome. Inspired action begins with listening. To act in alignment with divine guidance, you must first be open to receiving it. This requires a quieting of the mind, a willingness to be still, and a readiness to hear the whisper of God's voice. Inspiration often comes as a gentle nudge, a sudden insight, or a persistent idea that resonates deeply within you. It may not always make logical sense at the time, but it carries a sense of peace and certainty. When you feel this divine prompting, trust it. Acting on these whispers is an act of obedience and faith that aligns you with God's will. Faith without works is dead. To take inspired action is to put your faith into motion. It is not enough to believe and visualize, you must also step out and do your part. Imagine a farmer praying for a bountiful harvest. While prayer and faith are essential, the farmer must still plant seeds, water them, and tend to the soil. Similarly, inspired action is your way of planting seeds in the garden of your dreams. Each step you take is an investment in your future, a declaration that you trust God to bring the increase. Courage is often required when taking inspired action. The steps you feel led to take may challenge you to move out of your comfort zone, face fears, or risk failure. This is where faith becomes tangible. Trusting in God's promises means trusting that He has equipped you with everything you need to succeed. It means believing that every challenge is an opportunity for growth and every setback is a setup for a greater blessing. Courage allows you to take the first step, even when the path ahead is unclear, knowing that God will illuminate the way as you move forward. Consistency is another crucial aspect of inspired action. Manifestation is not an overnight process, it requires persistence and dedication. Consistency demonstrates your commitment to the vision you've been given. It shows that you are serious about partnering with God to bring it to pass. Even small, seemingly insignificant actions can have a profound impact when performed consistently over time. Think of these actions as drops of water that eventually fill the bucket. Every step, no matter how small, contributes to the manifestation of your desires. Inspired action also requires a mindset of flexibility and surrender. While it is important to have a plan, you must remain open to divine redirection. Sometimes the path to your goal may not unfold as you expect. Trust that God's ways are higher than yours, and that His plans are always for your good. When things don't go as planned, don't be discouraged. Instead, seek His guidance and adjust your course as needed. Flexibility allows you to stay aligned with His purpose while remaining steadfast in your pursuit of your vision. It's important to remember that inspired action is not about forcing outcomes. You don't need to make things happen through sheer effort or willpower. Instead, focus on aligning your actions with your beliefs and trusting that God is working behind the scenes. This is a cooperative process. As you take steps forward, God meets you where you are, opening doors, providing resources, and orchestrating circumstances in your favor. Trust in His timing and let go of the need to control every detail. Gratitude is a powerful force that enhances inspired action. When you act from a place of gratitude, you acknowledge the blessings you already have and express trust in the blessings yet to come. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from fear to faith. It infuses your actions with joy and purpose, making the journey as fulfilling as the destination. As you take inspired steps, give thanks for every opportunity, every lesson, and every moment of progress. Taking inspired action is an act of co-creation. You are not alone in this process. As you move forward in faith, you are partnering with the Creator of the universe. This partnership is a divine dance, where your steps are guided by His wisdom, your efforts are multiplied by His power, and your vision is brought to life through His grace. By taking inspired action, you honor this partnership and demonstrate your trust in His infinite ability to bring your dreams to fruition. Every step you take in alignment with your vision brings you closer to its manifestation. Each action, no matter how small, is a declaration of faith and an investment in the life you are creating. Trust the process, stay aligned with divine guidance, and keep moving forward with confidence and purpose. In doing so, you will not only achieve your goals but also deepen your relationship with God, growing in faith, wisdom, and gratitude along the way. Praising through the storm is an act of defiance against despair and a declaration of unwavering faith. It is the decision to look beyond the chaos of your circumstances and lift your voice in gratitude and trust, knowing that God is greater than any storm you may face. This act of praise is not dependent on the absence of challenges, but is a conscious choice to honor God's sovereignty even in the midst of them. When the winds of adversity blow and the waves threaten to overwhelm, praise becomes your anchor, grounding you in the certainty of God's love and power. Storms in life are inevitable. They come in the form of trials, disappointments, losses, and setbacks. These storms often seem to strike without warning, leaving you feeling vulnerable and uncertain. In such moments, the temptation is to focus on the storm, to be consumed by the fear, pain, and confusion it brings. But focusing on the storm only magnifies its power over you. The more you dwell on your problems, the more overwhelming they seem. Praise shifts your focus from the problem to the problem solver, from the storm to the one who calms it. Praising God in the storm is not about pretending the storm isn't real. It is about acknowledging its presence while refusing to let it define you or dictate your response. Praise is a bold proclamation of faith that says, yes, the storm is here, but my God is with me. Yes, the waves are high, but my God is higher. Yes, the winds are strong, but my God is stronger. This perspective transforms your experience of the storm. Instead of being a victim of your circumstances, you become a victor through your faith. When you praise God in the storm, you invite His presence into your situation. The Bible teaches that God inhabits the praises of His people. This means that when you lift your voice in praise, you create an environment where His power and peace can dwell. In His presence there is fullness of joy, even in the midst of trials. There is strength to endure, hope to carry on, and the assurance that you are not alone. Praise becomes a channel through which God's grace flows, sustaining you through the storm and empowering you to overcome it. Praise is an act of spiritual warfare. When you choose to praise God despite your circumstances, you resist the enemy's attempts to fill your heart with doubt, fear, and discouragement. The enemy wants you to believe that the storm will consume you, that you are powerless, and that God has abandoned you. But praise silences these lies. It declares the truth of God's faithfulness, His love, and His ability to work all things together for your good. Every word of praise is a weapon against the forces of darkness, a reminder that the battle is not yours but God's. Praising through the storm requires faith. It is easy to praise God when everything is going well, but it takes faith to praise Him when the outcome is uncertain. This kind of praise is rooted in trust, not in circumstances. It is the faith that knows God is working behind the scenes, even when you cannot see it. It is the faith that believes His promises are true, even when your reality seems to contradict them. It is the faith that rests in His character, knowing that He is good, loving, and faithful no matter what. Praise shifts your perspective from the temporal to the eternal. Storms are temporary, they come and go. But God's love and promises are eternal. When you praise Him, you remind yourself of this truth. You lift your eyes above the storm and fix them on the one who holds your future. This eternal perspective gives you the strength to endure, the courage to persevere, and the hope to believe that better days are ahead. It reminds you that the storm is not the end of your story, but a chapter in a greater narrative of redemption and victory. One of the most powerful aspects of praising through the storm is its ability to bring peace. Praise quiets the noise of the storm and calms the turmoil within. It shifts your focus from what is wrong to what is right, from what is lacking to what is abundant. It fills your heart with gratitude, which is the antidote to anxiety and despair. Gratitude reminds you of God's past faithfulness, giving you confidence in His present and future provision. When you praise, you release your worries to God and receive His peace in return. Praising God in the storm is a testimony to others. It shows the world that your faith is not dependent on circumstances, but on the unchanging character of God. It demonstrates the power of hope, the resilience of faith, and the strength of a life anchored in God. Your praise in the storm can inspire others to trust Him in their own trials, creating a ripple effect of faith and encouragement. It is a witness to the truth that God is worthy of praise, not just because of what He does, but because of who He is. Praising through the storm prepares the way for your breakthrough. It is an act of surrender that says, God, I trust you. I don't know how or when you will bring me through this, but I know you will. This surrender opens the door for God to move in your situation in ways you cannot imagine. Praise declares your victory before it manifests, aligning your heart and spirit with the outcome you are believing for. It sets the stage for God's power to be revealed, turning your storm into a testimony of His greatness. No matter how fierce the storm, remember that God is with you. He is your refuge and strength, your ever-present help in times of trouble. Lift your voice in praise, not because the storm has ended, but because you know the one who holds it in His hands. Trust that He is working all things for your good, even in the midst of the storm. Praise Him for His faithfulness, His power, and His love. As you do, you will find peace, strength, and the assurance that the storm will pass and His promises will prevail. In life, challenges and storms are inevitable, but through faith, perspective, and intentional action, you can rise above any problem. Recognize that God's power is infinite, greater than anything you could face. Shift your perspective to see beyond your struggles and anchor yourself in unwavering faith. Speak life over your situation, releasing the need to control and trusting that the victory is already won. Visualize your triumph, take inspired action, and praise God even in the darkest moments, knowing His light will always break through. Remember, every trial is an opportunity to grow, to trust, and to strengthen your connection with the divine. God is bigger than your problems, and with Him all things are possible. Let these principles guide you, transforming not just how you face your struggles, but how you live your life. Thank you for joining me on this journey of faith and empowerment. May you walk forward with confidence, peace, and the unshakable knowledge that you are never alone. God's love and strength are always with you. Stay blessed, and may your life be a testimony of His greatness. Thank you.